that I was at. And let's start by asking you to hit that thumbs up button, like, subscribing, rate, and review. And we're going to shut up and we're going to grind that tape, all that good stuff. But let's get after it. Georgia beats Florida 24-20. Where should we start? Probably with the I told you so. I don't do a lot of I told you so around here, but I told you so. I told you on Thursday, don't be thinking this shit's sweet. Don't be thinking you're going to go down there to Jacksonville and just roll over a bad Florida football team. They are bad in record only. They've been bad in record only for 3 straight years. Because I don't know if y'all know this, but recruiting matters in this sport. High school recruiting matters in this sport. Accumulating dudes matters in this sport. And they got a crap load of them. They got a bunch of dudes with no wins. And that's why the coach got fired. But that's also why they sweat folks out for 4 quarters before they ultimately lose. Right? And that's exactly what happened. We told you it was going to happen. We said, hey, not trying to make any excuses, not trying to get out in front of a potential loss, but I'm just telling you, if you look up in the 4th quarter and Georgia is sweating, it ain't got nothing to do with anything other than the fact that top 12 recruiting rankings. Top 12 recruiting rankings. You get dudes, you're going to have an ability to fight. There ain't no doubt about it. It's why it's at any given Sunday league on Sundays on this day, right? Because all those guys get first-round picks. All those guys get equal talent. All those guys have talented rosters. All right, they're still professional football players. Some more talented than the others, but any one of them can get you any Sunday. That's what it is with Florida. That is a championship caliber roster with poo-poo results. We've been telling you that for a while now on this network. And yeah, Georgia sweated it out for 4 quarters. Told you so. Now let's talk about the actual game. Georgia gets off to a hot start offensively. Feels like they walked the football down, score 7-0. And then what's Florida do? Bang, 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 bang. Deep overs galore. Scores on Eugene Wilson. I think Eugene Wilson was 4 for 80. 4 deep overs. Chunking you the hell up with deep overs off play action. And they score. And then Georgia kind of goes stagnant offensively for quite some time. All right, quite some time until, I can't even remember what Zachariah Branch sparks them. Basically, Zachariah Branch on 3rd and short in the second half sparks them into situations where they can score. And then we get a little Fox screen to Noah, and then Chauncey ices it. And then it's like, boom, we're scoring and we're good. And somehow they put up 370 some odd yards of total offense. It did not feel that way. It felt as if they were stagnant for a good 35 minutes of that football game. I don't know how you guys felt. That's how I felt watching that one. Okay. I also thought that it was Gunnar Stockton's most least impactful football game that he's played, maybe to date. We were having this discussion last night on the ride home. I don't want to say it was his worst performance. I didn't feel like he played bad. I just didn't feel like he was a difference maker when the last month of football, hell, I'd say the last 2 months of football, the biggest difference maker on the offense has been 14-1. And 1 was still there yesterday, but I didn't feel like 14 was making plays. I don't know how you guys felt. Until late in the 4th quarter, when it only matters, right? He's a gamer. As the game continues, he gets better. Kirby talked about it yesterday. But there were several, probably I haven't watched the tape yet, but probably held on to the ball too long or turned down some yardage, hit Oscar Delp in the shins, right? Back shoulder ball on Noah when he's working back across the middle of the field. Yeah, you should catch that ball, Noah Thomas. But yeah, you should put that ball on his chest, not his left shoulder. You know what I mean? Like those types of things, I did not feel as if it was Gunner's best football game. And on the other end of the ball, right, I felt like DJ Lagway played as clean as can be, apart from a fumble that they ultimately recovered. But that's the cleanest that dude's played in 2 years, and you survived. You got out with a win. And that guy normally hands it to the opponent several times in football games. Guy got 9 interceptions. I bet he's got 15 turnover-worthy plays this year, right? I didn't feel like he made too many of those yesterday, and you won the game 24-20. Also, the offensive stagnation periods, they're explainable because you chunk 3 drives up, right? Yeah, you have holding penalties. Anytime Georgia's in a 2nd and 20 this year, you go ahead and punt that damn football. Go ahead. So you have 2 of those with a hold, and then you get a weird snap, which I still can't figure out what's going on there. Maybe Chad can help me out there. I still don't know what happened there. I think it was an early snap, bad snap, one way or the other. 2nd and 21, punt the damn ball. Like y'all have little to no chance of converting that nowadays. And I say that about most offenses, but especially yours, right? So there's that. But that explained a lot of the offensive stagnations to me. The defense, man, apart from, here's how I felt. I felt like Florida got 17 of their 20 points doing 2 things. Quarterback draw on 2nd down right? Everybody expects quarterback draw and empty on 3rd and 5. Everybody does. But ain't nobody really thinking you about to run quarterback draw on 2nd and 20 out of empty. And that's what happened. They pick up a first down there, and that's a big one for them. I think Lagway late in the 4th quarter, late in the 3rd quarter, has another one in plus territory. And then the other are the deep overs, which, by the way, y'all better figure out the deep over thing quick. Mississippi State ain't going to do it to you. You ain't got to worry about that. But Texas, that's what they are. Texas is a post-deep over football team. So I felt like Florida had, 250 yards of total offense yesterday, 290 yards total offense yesterday, and 130 of them came on deep overs. And then the subsequent, hey, we're acting like we're rolling, but we're really not. Now we're going to hit it in the flat because y'all are bailing to the deep over territory of the field. So all of that, major concerns moving forward. Not major concerns, a schematical, hey, better fix that before the next guy gets you worse. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. So yeah, it's very, very, to me, very, very telling that the defense got enough stops. All right. And Georgia iced the football game with a run play on 3rd and 7, which that's what I want to talk about. This game in this conference forever moving forward, as long as, especially as rev share actually gets regulated, like it seems like it's going to be, as these rosters start to become much, much more competitive and the parity continues across the sport of college football. And as 10 or 11 or 12 of these SEC programs really continue to start spending 15 of that $20.5 million on football rosters, these rosters going to be deep, these rosters going to be good, and these games going to be tight. We've been talking about this all year. So what is important? Criticals. Critical downs are important. 4th downs, 3rd downs, short yardage situations, red zone areas, big play moments. It's criticals. The critical moments in the football game will ultimately depict the outcome, period. It's no explosives, turnover margins, all that good stuff. That matters. But these games are tight. These games are tight, so you win the criticals. Florida had a 3rd and 2 and a 4th and 2 with the game on the line, option to convert. They ran their 2 best plays, quarterback run and give the ball to Jaden Ball, and got stuffed. Absolutely stuffed. Turnover on downs, going back the other way. Georgia had a very similar opportunity at a much more difficult rate. 3rd and 8, ball at the 27, 25-yard line, whatever the hell it was. They're in 4-minute offense, trying to milk the clock to win the game. It's 3rd and 7, and what happens? They convert a damn 3rd and 7 with truck toss in the 4th quarter with 4 minutes left. That's Georgia football. That's Georgia football this year. I don't know what it was the last 18 months, but this year, all right, the last 2 seasons, season and a half, this season, this 2025 Georgia football team will stare you in the face, and they will not blink. For 4 quarters, they will not blink. And they're going to wait for you to make a mistake. Or worse or better, force you to make it, right? I feel like they did that against Auburn, forced the referees to put that in their hand. I feel like they did that against Florida, forced them, right? I feel like they did enough offensively to force that field goal to go wide right against Tennessee, right? And you can say, oh, they got lucky. They're doing a lot to put themselves in those opportunities to be lucky. You know what I mean? And what do I mean? How? 3rd and 2, 4th and 2, Florida can't do it. 3rd and 7, Georgia does, converts. Hey, how about that? How about the criticals again? Outrushed them, outgained them, won the turnover battle, outpossessioned them, and smoked their butt on 3rd down. I mean, absolutely smoked them. I think it was 5 or 15 for Georgia for 2 of 11 on 3rd down for Florida. So again, outrushed them, outgained them, won the turnover battle, outpossessioned them, and smoked them on 3rd down. Now let's save the whales, shall we? Because that's what y'all want to do. Y'all want bitch moan and complain about the zebras, despite the fact that your head football coach down there, Florida fans, said the damn thing wasn't a catch. But let's talk about it. I thought that game being in person was so hysterical because it was very obviously disputable. You got a split stadium. And they show one, which, by the way, I thought ESPN did a major disservice of not showing all of the video footage because I went back and watched the TV copy. They do not show you the footage that we saw in stadium where very clearly the ball hits the ground. And they only showed that clip once inside the stadium. And then all the Georgia fans go freaking nuts. And then they go to show the other angle, and all the Florida fans go freaking nuts. And by the way, was the same exact way on the DJ Lagway fumble, which I thought was a fumble, which Florida fans probably thought the ground created the fumble. I thought the ball was moving before you hit the ground. You thought it wasn't a fumble. Doesn't matter. Called a non-fumble on the field. It's not a fumble. Called a non-catch on the field. Not a catch. Not disputable or indisputable. Not indisputable. And like, again, had you been there in person, you could have seen all of the video footage that they're looking at, and you would have had the obvious reaction as a non-biased observer of they think it's a catch, they think it's not. It was called not on the field, so it must not be. You know what I mean? That's how it has to stick. I am not going to be here for it until the SEC allows people inside of the review booth, which, by the way, I think is malpractice that you don't. I think it's absolutely insane to me that the ACC and the ESPN have a contract together, and on those television broadcasts, we go to the ACC officiating office, but yet Greg Sankey and them folks out in Birmingham can't give us that. We have to just assume that they're getting it right, or we have to assume that they're having the right conversations, right? That doesn't feel good to me. I don't like that about the outcomes of football games. Because again, one scores. All these very, very tight football games. They will continue to be moving forward. They will continue to be tight ass football games. All right. But man, like I hate the y'all got lucky, save the whales crap. Y'all know I hate that stuff. I hate when I tweeted about it. The first 3 quarters, Georgia fans are bitching about referees. Because yeah, how in the hell do you call disconcerting signals simulating the snap count on the quarterback? What is that? Y'all didn't think it was targeting, Georgia fans. It was targeting. I'm here to tell you it was targeting. He led with the crown of his helmet. Yeah, the wide receiver dipped, but we don't protect we don't protect defensive players. We only protect offensive players. That's been football since Tom Brady's knee got blown up. So don't be out here doing we got screwed too. The zebras suck. We all know. We all know the teachers should get paid more. We all know we want the whales to be saved. We all know we want world peace. Shut up. Play football. Players that need shout-outs. Chauncey Bowens. Holy hell. Yeah. That's good ball. That's good ball late in the fourth quarter. That guy is so hard to tackle, right? I think the new thing for me is I don't really care if you're like big. I don't care if you're small. I don't care what you look like as a ball carrier. Your contact balance better be elite. If someone's coming at you full speed and hits you in your core, they better not be able to they better bounce off you, right? Or you better be able to continue yards after contact. That's the way I feel about backs moving forward, especially with all the different stuff we do schematically, right? There's not one team running one style of run. Every team is running all the styles of run. So you better be able to have a guy that can kind of do all of it. And the most important thing to me is contact balance. And that kid has elite contact balance. And that's why he's so great to me. Obviously, he's got good vision too, but there's not like one thing that he excels at. It's all just really, really well balanced and good. You know what I mean? Moving on to the borderline great. CJ Allen is a madman. That guy played out of his gourd and always has. I think he had 13 tackles yesterday. I mean, just absolutely nuts. I'm glad to see the NFL scouting world. I'm looking at a friend of mine, Jordan Reed, right here tweeting out, CJ Allen clips right now. I mean, it was elite football yesterday from 3. It's been elite football for the better part of 7 games now. 8 games. I don't feel like there's been one where I'm like, damn, CJ didn't play very well. And he was hampered with a hamstring early on in the year. So that's pretty damn impressive. Make sure you're hitting that like button. Make sure you're subscribing if you have not. All right. If you're watching us on Twitter right now, get over to YouTube and help us out with a subscription. We are on the doorsteps of 80K. We might cross it in the midst of this stream. Got about 25 subscribers left before we hit 80K, man. Subscriptions pay the bills, right? When I reach out to new sponsors, like our friends over at Sleeper, when our new sponsors reach out to us, the first thing they want to know is how many subscribers you got. Now, they can go look at it, right? They can go see it, but they want to know growth. They want to see growth, and we've obviously shown that. And I want to continue to show that by continuing to ramp up those subscription numbers. So make sure you're hitting that. Speaking of our sponsors, I want to give a quick shout out to our friends over at Sleeper. If you've not already, head over to sleeper.com or Sleeper. Download the app. Use promo code Brooks. You get a 100% deposit match up to $100. Sleeper is a fantasy sports and real money gaming app focused on bringing people together through sports and gaming. Sleeper has become the fastest organically growing fantasy platform in the world. Use promo code Brooks today, and you'll get, again, 100% deposit match on your first deposit. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. We appreciate those guys for supporting us, man. They've been adamant about the continued growth of this network and helping out and being a part of it. So make sure you're helping those that support us. We appreciate you guys for that one. Y'all know how I feel about the referee thing. People will say, well, he's a Georgia guy. Of course he feels this way. I don't let Georgia fans do it. I do not let Georgia fans do it. I don't. So I don't let y'all do it.